Hey guys, Coach Ben here. I want to thank you for checking out Mastering the Press, and thank you for watching Mastering the Setup and the Takeout. Hopefully by now you have an idea of how important the setup process and the takeout process is to your bench press success. It's not just about how you're pressing the bar, it's really everything that's happening before that bar even comes out of the rack that's determining, are you going to be successful with your max effort weight or not? And that's why with my online clients, that's why I spend so much time going over setup, takeout. We don't even touch on much pressing mechanics until we make sure all that is set in place. All right, so very important. If you haven't got as much out of those videos, rewatch them. All right, there's a lot of information there. It's a lot to take down at once and apply to your training. So what I would say to you is mark down little notes, apply one thing per phase each training session, get better at it, and when you feel you really mastered it, now you can take that, move on to the next cue. But don't try to do it all at once. You're going to drive yourself crazy. All right, so we're talking about the press. We're finally there. This is what's happening. This is the excitement. This is what everyone's ready to see. Okay, a big bench press. They don't see all that groundwork that goes into it beforehand. They don't know what all that is. All right, but that's your key. This is showtime. All right, that was prep. This is the show. So we're gonna go into the press and what good mechanics are. Okay, so we've already established how to set up, how to take that bar out. We're just going over how to press it. Very simple. All right, we established creating tightness to that bar. How do we do that? Bending the bar with the lats. All right, so to visualize for you what I'm trying to do to this bar, just so you understand, in case you don't understand bend the bar, which some people don't, and that's fine. What's happening here, pretend this bar is a stick, and I'm trying to literally snap it. How would I go about doing that? Like this. Just like that, all right? You would see this bend into a V. Okay, that's pretty much what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take this bar and bend it into a V. All right, that's called bending the bar, creating tightness to the bar. You'll feel when you do that, you'll feel your wrist joint lock up, all right? No excess movement here. It's gonna lock up. My elbow's gonna lock up. No excess movement here. Turned in, everything's tight. Even down to my shoulders. Important we use the lats because that's what's keeping the shoulder tight. All right, I'm gonna feel tight from the wrist all the way down into the torso. My leg drive's going. Everything is a tight unit. All right, so that's what I mean when I say bend the bar, creating tightness to the bar. Very important. We can't be all over the place. All right, when you lose tightness to the bar, what happens? We start getting elbow flares. We start hurting our shoulders a little bit. All those joints are put at more risk. We want to make sure we're bending that bar with our lats. Anytime we have that bar in the hand, even at the top, that needs to be occurring. We need to be bending that bar the whole time. All right, and you'll see how my elbows track. We don't want any of this, right? Letting those elbows get out on us, pressing up and letting them flare too early. Always want that tightness in place. All right, so once we take the bar out, we're reinsuring that we're bending the bar. All right, before we begin, we want to make sure the bar's not moving. So we don't want to be swaying around or still taking the bar out when we go into the press. That's why it's very important to make sure that bar comes to a complete dead stop off your handoff before you press it. So that bar's nice and still. I know I have a handle on it. I feel very locked into the bench. My legs are going, right? Push them back. Now I'm gonna lower that bar precisely. All right, I'm trying to hit. Again, we'll talk about where to hit. Low on the sternum. Somewhere, that's a good place to be in training, is elbows 45 degrees away from the body. So we're not out here. All right, we're not touching up here. This would be elbows out 90 degrees. All right, we're not way in here. Elbows close to the body. All right, we are somewhere in between. All right, those elbows 45 away from the body. Wrists are aligned over my elbows. All right, I'm not out here, way out in front. I'm not pressing like this. All those would be poor positions. Again, elbows 45 degrees away from the body. Wrists over elbows. That pretty much determines where you're going to touch that bar. Okay, so that's the spot. Once we know where we're trying to hit, and often for beginners, they're not sure, so I'll actually tap. I'm like, hit right here. Hit right here. We want to be very precise. We want to hit the same spot every single time. Okay, so we know where we need to go with this bar. We're creating tightness with this bar. How do we get it down? Well, we continue to bend it, but as it's coming down to that spot, we're trying to travel straight down to that spot. We're thinking about spreading and lowering that bar into our lats. Again, our back is creating the platform to load that weight into. All right, so I'm tight here in my back. When I lower it, I'm thinking about catching it with my back, catching it with my back. I want it to be very arm sparing. What I mean by that is when I'm coming down, I'm not trying to command that weight with my arms. All right? I'm trying to rather take my arms out of the equation, save them from getting fatigued. All right? And I want to think about landing that bar into my back. All right? I want to think about blocking my triceps, blocking my arms from coming down with my back via spreading them. All right? Spreading my back. I'm blocking myself from getting down with the weight. All right. Another cue that could help catching the bar with the lats. I know I just mentioned that, but if you think about that while you're traveling with that bar, that seems to be a cue that kind of clicks for people. How they're supposed to really catch it with their back, rather than control with their arms and drop down. All right. So that's what you're thinking about. That's what you're cueing as you're coming down with the bar. It's very tight, controlled. Right to that spot, point A to point B, as direct as possible. All right, we're not having any variance in between. That bar's not starting here and then all of a sudden dropping down. It's a straight line. Straight down to where we need to touch it, and then we're throwing back. All right, when that bar gets to our chest, we hit that spot. Again, very precise. We're talking, you gotta be this precise. You can't have any variance. When you're training, precision wins. Precision over power. You may have heard that boxing term, right? If you're precise with your shots, it's gonna beat someone who's just wailing down with a bunch of power, you know? Land your spots, okay? Same concept on the bench. Land your spots. If you touch down here, if you touch a little bit high, that's going to throw you completely off. You have no idea how much that throws you off. It needs to be super precise. And you can practice this. Empty bar, every warm-up. Every single warm-up attempt. You're trying to hit the same spot. Every time. Every rep. Every rep of every set, you're trying to hit the same exact spot. Okay? So we really need to practice that precision once we get there. Okay? We came straight down. We're going to press the bar back over our shoulders. This would be a good bar path. All right, straight down to my spot, throw back over my shoulders. All right, so I'm not trying to press it straight up. I'm not pressing it away. We can get lost out there very easily. We need to make sure everything's under the bar. Forearms are aligned in a position where I can throw that bar back and all my momentum back over the shoulders. Because if we get into trouble, as long as we stay under that bar, we can still kind of wedge ourselves under and lock it out. All right, but if that bar gets out in front of us, we got nothing to get under. We can't even try to scoop underneath. We lost it by that point. If we, right off the chest, start getting that bar moving back, we can finish it. And if we get into trouble, at least we give ourselves a shot. So it looks like a half V. You're coming down, straight down as you can, and then throw back. So you can see with my finger, it looks like a half V. All right? So, again, to recap, everything's starting to come together now. We got our setup. We got our takeout. We're creating tightness to that bar. We're bending it with our lats. We're coming straight down, hitting our spot. We're precise. Throw it back, half V, right? While I'm pressing up, I'm creating and maintaining that tightness to the bar, and I'm holding a pause at the top. All right? That's all there really is to it, guys. All right, pretty much keeping that tension to the bar, lowering it into your lats, hitting that precise spot, and exploding back with the weight. While you explode back, you want to try to keep that tightness to the bar as best you can. All right, obviously with max effort loads, it's going to tend to want to flare you out a bit. If you have particular weakness in your triceps versus your shoulders or whatever, that will determine, again, kind of what happens if you flare your elbows. Best thing you can do is just try to maintain that tightness even throughout that upwards portion of the press. Another thing you want to do, make sure you pause on the chest. I will rarely ever, for a competitive powerlifter, ever make them do touch and go benching. Everything is with a pause unless otherwise stated, because you want to practice how you play on the platform. Alright, I'm trying to think of a good baseball or football analogy because I'm very good at that, but I can't think of a great one right now. So I'm kind of lost there. But anyways, I think you understand how, so a good one, you're not going to have, I've mentioned this one before, you're not going to have a basketball player shoot around with a soccer ball. Alright, that seems silly and ridiculous. Alright, you're not going to have a basketball player shoot around with a soccer ball. Alright, you're not going to have a competitive bench presser, bench on some shit rack, not actually pause when it's in the rules to pause. Alright, we're trying to be as specific as possible. Alright, you'd want a basketball player to practice on a height, on a basketball hoop height, that is regulation. Alright, you want a bench presser to bench off a bench that's regulation height. You want to practice the exact rules. Alright, you're not going to pretend to shoot from the free throw line and think that's 3. Similar type of shit, guys. Alright, so always practice with a pause to the rules, to the standards. Unless otherwise specified, always some type of pause for a training effect. Very important, because we need to learn how to create tightness down there. Alright, that's huge. You don't want to miss the training effect there. Big training effect of pausing to the chest. Pausing at the top. Making sure you're getting a hold at the top position, because, again, we don't want that bar to carry momentum. That bar, once you're pressing back, very easy to carry some momentum, kind of swing away on you a little bit. Alright, we want to make sure we're staying tight to it. That bar is becoming still again, and then we're ready to go. Alright, but that pretty much covers it for the press. Again, thank you for watching this video series. If you have any questions whatsoever, if you want to send me video, email me, coachben@bigbenchas.com. You can link an Instagram video, whatever the case may be, YouTube. I love to take a look for you, help you out the best I can. This is why I do this stuff, guys, to help you. Alright, that's what I love to do. I want to spread this knowledge to as many people as possible. So please reach out to me. If this video series helps you in any way, please message me. I love to hear from you guys. If I can help you any further, I will. Coach Ben here, and you know where to find me. On the bench.